Hello all and welcome to my next video. Um, Thought I'd do something I haven't done before and just kind of step into a new little bit of a toy line here as we take a look at what is basically my first McFarlane DC figure. McFarlane has its DC Multiverse line, and I decided to go ahead and pick up Superman Red Sun. I haven't really gone deep into the McFarlane DC line, mainly because a lot of their figures haven't really appealed to me, to be honest. Um, they've had some that were really close that I really wanted to get, and there's a couple I do actually plan on getting now. Um, but so far they haven't really released anything. I do want to go back and pick up the Arkham figures, the Batman and Joker Arkham video game style figures. Those would be cool. And maybe at some point there's a couple of more I'll get down the line. Those Dark Knight Returns figures are pretty tempting. But out of everything else, really the only thing so far I've wanted is this Red Sun Superman. I think the main turnoff for me on the McFarlane line so far has just been like the weird overabundance of metal figures. The Dark Knight's metal stuff. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that whole line, that whole event that feels like it's been going on forever. But um yeah, so none of those figures have really appealed to me at all. And I don't know how that line is doing financially. I'm not as familiar with that as I am something like Marvel Legends. Um but I see them all the time here at my Walmart and my GameStop, just stacks of these DC metal figures. But I did see this one and I went ahead and picked it up. If you've never read Superman Red Sun, it's a pretty fun story. It's an Elseworld story. I don't think they're calling their alternate universe stuff Elseworld anymore. I think that's all getting pushed under Black Label now, isn't it? I could be wrong, but originally it was an Elseworld story. It was Mark Millar, I believe. And I won't go into too much spoilers or anything, but in that Superman does not land in like small town Kansas or anything, or Smallville, outside of Smallville, like in Kansas on a farm. He lands in the Soviet Union, and he becomes the Red Sun. And so there you go. And basically, it's just a story of like kind of like a Cold War-esque story with Superman and all these other things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some other cool characters in that book, and there's alternate takes on different characters. Oh, excuse me. There's like a crazy Russian Batman that's really cool, and there's like an experimental Green Lantern Corps. Like it's pretty fun story. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. But let's go ahead and get into this. My first McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, and it is Superman Red Sun. Yeah. Like I said, this line hasn't had the most appeal to me. The only other figures so far I really want out of this line, I would like to get those Arkham figures, and then maybe the Injustice Dr. Fate. I have a feeling this line isn't going to give us a lot of classic looks for superheroes. So with like the Injustice Dr. Fate, I kind of figured just like it's good enough type of situation, and I'm a big Dr. Fate fan. So once I see that one, I'll probably end up getting that one. So far, yeah, I think those are the only ones so far that I've really looked at like, oh yeah, I want to get that. Okay, here we go. Whoa, one of his hands fell out. Where'd he go? Anyway, apologies for that. I was searching for one of the hands fell out of the bubble. There we go. Got it. Let's go and see if we can get those cut. He does have some twist ties, but as you know me, twist ties be damned because I have scissors. Okay, there we go. All right. We got our Superman. The hands like fell out. So it looks like he's got an alternate like open hand and then an alternate closed-fisted hand. So he's got those. He does come with a stand, which I think is pretty cool. I'm trying to get that out. It's like on its own little bubble in the back, and it comes with like a collectible card. I do kind of like that touch. I can't go out of my way and say like these cards are going to be worth anything someday. Probably not. But it's pretty cool. Spoilers on the back if you haven't read Red Sun. If you have not read Red Sun, see what I did there. There are some spoilers here, like the info on the back of the card. I'm going to flip it over and show it to you right now. If you're not, skip ahead 10 seconds. Pause it and read it if you want. There you go. And we got the stand, which I like. I like that that it comes with the stand. I think that's actually pretty cool. I also like that you can actually remove or add on the like piece that makes him look like he's flying. I don't tend to really pose a lot of my figures like they're flying, so I'll probably leave it off, to be honest. I like putting them in like fighting poses. If you haven't seen the Red Sun animated movie, I actually recommend it. I think it's one of the better DC animated films in recent memory. It's weird, like DC's animated movies were actually really good for a while, and then they started doing some really weird ones and changing things, and like, I think their Killing Joke movie really hurt their kind of reputation, because what they did in that story was just ass, man. I don't know how you ruin that story the way they did. But it is what it is. I'm trying to get him all straightened out here. Like he's got a stiff leg over here. All right, apologies. Here we go. So there we go. We got our Superman Red Sun. This is my first McFarlane, so I can't really tell you like, oh, there's a lot here I can compare it to with like other McFarlanes. I mean, right out the gate, he looks great for what he is. Like as the Superman Red Sun thing. I do like his look. I might have done the costume more gray tone as opposed to the blue tone. I know it looks like that in the book, but I think the more gray would have insinuated the red a little bit better. Everything else on him looks pretty accurate. I haven't read Red Sun in a while. I like the head sculpt. The head sculpt's pretty good. He's kind of got that chiseled out jawline. Same hairstyle. Pretty good. Let me see. Belt looks good. No symbol there. He's got the hammer and sickle instead of the like S logo. Cape's a little bit shorter, which makes sense. So yeah, overall pretty good. You want to stand for me, kiddo? There we go. So he stands pretty well. In terms of articulation, again, like I said, I'm not too familiar with McFarlane, so I don't know what their kind of standard is for a lot of articulation stuff. He does have like the kind of a ball type of thing going on here on the ankle, so he does have some foot swivel, goes back and forth. He actually has toe joints, which is pretty cool. He has double jointed knees. They are stiff though. Look at that. Like the top part of this knee doesn't want to bend, so I might have to heat that up. The bottom part does just fine. Same thing with this one. This one's having a hard time moving on the top joint, so might have to heat those up. I moved my thing here too. Apologies. No ab crunch, but he has a torso swivel. He's got bicep swivel. Looks like we got single jointed arms. Focus. Apologies if it's kind of out of focus. Yeah, so there you go. I like it. I've never been the biggest McFarlane Toys fan, to be totally honest. Nothing against like McFarlane, the company itself, or the artist himself. I do have some of their stuff. I have a couple of their sports figures. If anybody has seen some of my previous videos, I got the McFarlane Dan Marino and the McFarlane Patrick Ewing. I have the 10th anniversary Spawn as well. So I'm familiar with McFarlane. I was just kind of iffy on what their DC line was going to be when a lot of their figures have just been nothing but these dark metal figures. I wish we would get more classic looking figures. And I know people will say, well, we got that classic Batman and Superman at the start. Well, yes and no. The Batman I thought looked pretty good, but he had like a tiny head. I didn't quite get it. So it just looked weird. And then that Superman was close to perfect. I will say that. That Superman figure might be the best one they've released. But he had the cuffs on his sleeve. I didn't get that. And what about the animated stuff? Kind of, but not really. I mean, I know they released that animated Batman that was all kinds of wrong. Like it was supposed to be based off of the animated series, and the proportions are just completely off. I get you wanted it to look like it belonged in a Justice League line, but that's not what Batman looked like in the Justice League, and that's not what Justice League Batman would look like in the animated series. So, tough shit. But yeah, Superman Red Sun, I like it. I think it's pretty good. I just got to get used to kind of the larger scale, because I know they're bigger than a lot of the Marvel Legends, right? These are like a 6.5, 7-inch scale, and Marvel's more of just a standard 6-inch scale. So I'm gonna have to get used to that. But so far, just like as a first one, I'm impressed. I like it. I think he looks very good for what he is. If you've never read that story, again, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty entertaining story for an Elseworld story. And he's got his alternate hands, and then we got the stand, and you get the card. Again, like a lot of other things, the price on these guys is going up. Even more so than other stuff. Like a lot of the Marvel Legends are going up to $22.99. That's what the new sets are costing at the Walmarts and on like Big Bad Toy Store and stuff. This guy, or I might be wrong on that. I want to say they're going up to $22.99. I've noticed the McFarlanes are going up for pre-order for $24.99. The new ones. The older ones, they're going to stay the same price. I actually got this guy at my Walmart. He was just base $20. So, is what it is. Yeah, I like him. I think he's good. Kind of interesting that my first McFarlane was actually a Superman Red Sun. I will say, I don't know if y'all noticed this when he was standing. Like in this angle, his chest, because of the torso joint, almost looks too big. But then you pick him up and he kind of looks normal, so it might just be like a shadow thing. But I like it. I do like it. And like I said, there are some other figures that really interest me. I really want to get those Arkham toys. I saw those before, and I just didn't jump on them, and I should have. Because those look perfect and spot on. So I do want to get those. And I'm probably going to pick up that Dr. Fate at some point. I don't know when, but I probably will. The Lobo figure kind of is enticing, but I'm having a hard time struggling if I should do that. Maybe I should go back and get the Storm Collectibles Lobo. I don't know. Either way, my first McFarlane figure. I wish they would make more classic looking figures, like a more classic Superman, a more classic Batman, stuff like that. Instead of just a lot of the metal and like New 52 and Rebirth designs. I get that's that's newer and more common now. But it would be nice to have some classic, like iconic looks, you know. But beyond that, thank you. And please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to. You do not have to. But I appreciate anybody who does. And I will catch you guys in the next video.